What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel on this beautiful Sunday for a new rebuild. Madden 21 rebuild. And we're going to be using the Indianapolis Colts. Why the Colts? Well, if you follow me on Twitter, at PapaXC4, I occasionally, from time to time, will straight up make a tweet saying, hey, tell me who to rebuild. And the most requested team from my tweet was the Indianapolis Colts. And they're a very interesting rebuild team. They're a team that's going to be interesting for both rebuilds. Right now, we're using Madden-generated draft classes. And yeah, life beyond Phillip Rivers. And then once you do a realistic rebuild, have a chance at swinging at some of the real quarterbacks from 2021, the 2022, 2023 draft class. Because that's roughly where I'm going with it right now. For realistic rebuilds, I want 3 real draft classes. I'm about halfway done 2022. So I got a draft class 2023 that I have to do and half of 2022 before we can do the realistic rebuilds. Timeline, I'm hoping before NFL kickoff. I will have at least a realistic rebuild up for you guys by then. But for the time being, we're just doing these random rebuilds, taking it as it is in Madden 21. And what we've noticed is that you cannot draft linemen. Absolutely garbage linemen. So I kind of took that into consideration when agreeing that we should rebuild the Colts, because Colts have a sensational offensive line. But let's meet this roster. At quarterback, they got Phillip Rivers coming over from the Chargers. Like, that's so weird. Like, it really feels like Phillip Rivers, you know, fringe Hall of Famer, I guess, right? When all said and done, statistically, it's right up there. And he just kind of left the Chargers. Like, they didn't do, like, a big ceremony. Like, you saw Eli Manning, how things ended there. And you see all these long-tenured quarterbacks, when they move on or they retire, there's some big, you know, it's almost like a ceremony, if you will. And it just seems like Phillip Rivers just, he's not on the Chargers anymore. Now he's on the Colts. So, I mean, hey, he's a good Band-Aid quarterback. He's always been a strong sim quarterback in Madden. He's 38 star dev, so I don't know if we're going to have him for 1 year, going to have him for 2 years, either way. Jacoby Brissett, solid backup. I'm actually going to throw him up on the trade block, see if anyone wants him. I will trade him to any team that's not the Saints, because we all remember that from Madden 20. But, I mean, I kind of always had like a little bit of a biased opinion of Jacoby Brissett, because before he went to NC State, he was a quarterback at Florida, and he wasn't particularly great. But then he went off and, he made a career for himself. And he's solid and showed some promise, some ups and some downs as a starter for the Colts, and maybe some team will want to take a stab at it. But for me, if I had to look beyond Phillip Rivers, this is the guy, Jacob Eason. Best value quarterback pick from the 2020 draft, easily. 6'6", 230, NFL size. 93 throw power, can't teach that. Accuracy, 80 short, is solid. He's an okay athlete, 76 speed, 82 acceleration. So, like, everything about Jacob Eason says, yeah, we might have something that can develop there. So, life beyond Phillip Rivers, I mean, I haven't really had much of a chance at drafting quarterbacks in the generated draft classes yet. We saw that one freak in the Redskins rebuild. And I call them the Redskins. They're the football team. Always going to slip up. But, I mean, there is obviously an avenue to draft a quarterback once Phillip Rivers does decide to retire. But I think that, at worst, Eason will be able to compete with whatever quarterback we end up drafting and might be our starter. Who knows? Who knows where we'll be at 5 years down the line? And also, shout out Swag Kelly. Running back room. They got Marlon Mack. Pretty sure he's in a contract year. 85 star. Solid. He's a solid running back. Maybe 80, I don't want to say that's overrated for him. He's a solid running back. 85 star, 24. Then Nyheim Hines. Actually, low-key was kind of overpowered in Madden 20. Really nice looking running back, too. He's 23, 75. But then they went out and got Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin. Pretty much just destroyed, college football. He beat that. Let's just put it that way. He beat college football. Obviously, Wisconsin didn't win much. But in terms of a running back in college, he's as good of a prospect as there has been. And then the fact that he's 5'10", 226, almost 230 pounds with 93 speed, 92 acceleration, 84 agility. Exceptional athlete. An absolute exceptional, and he has that dev trait. So, more questions than answers for the running back spot here for the Colts, and that's a good way to phrase it. Sometimes that's usually used in a negative term, like more questions than answers, like we don't know what's going on. But this is like, we don't know what's going on for the better of the team. I honestly don't know. If Marlon Mack's contract is up, do we pay him? I kind of don't think we do. I think this move for Jonathan Taylor, because we have injuries turned off in the rebuilds, we probably should just gamble that Jonathan Taylor is going to develop into a really, really nice running back. But then it's also in 3 years' time, is Jonathan Taylor going to be an 85 overall? When they're the same age. So, I mean, we do have questions. We got to figure that out. For the time being, I think we'll have Marlon Mack play a lot, but we'll have Jonathan Taylor be the power back, so he will get some snaps as a rookie. Wide receivers, we got T.Y. Hilton, superstar dev, veteran at this point in his career, 30 with a superstar, still fast, 92 speed, 91 acceleration, 91 catching, 90. I mean, the route running is really, really good. He's going to be good until he's not good. But luckily, we got some guys. Zach Pascal, really solid in the slot, was a sim monster last year in Madden 20, slot beast. We got Paris Campbell, who still has some upside, the second-year player out of Ohio State, 72 normal. And this is a guy we definitely want to queue in now. Hidden dev, Michael Pittman Jr. out of USC, 6'4", 225, 71 hidden dev. Speed's not great, but 85 catching is, I think, second highest in this entire draft class of rookie wide receivers. 81 catch in traffic, 85 spec, 88 jump. This guy's an absolute monster. So we're going to have to figure out who's going to play what. Obviously, long-term, I mean, it could be these three guys, but we still have T.Y. Hilton for the time being, and I think push comes to shove, we'll give Pittman the reps over Paris Campbell because at least Pittman has that dev trait to help him out. Tight end room, we got Jack Doyle, solid veteran, 81-30. Obviously, probably never going to go much past that, but he's solid. We got Trey Burton, obviously a soft spot in my heart for Trey Burton. Philly, 80 star dev, 28 after getting kicked to the curb by the Bears, who just have 48 tight ends on their roster. That guy, oh man, that was the dude in if you watch Hard Knocks, I think that was the guy that got cut from the Chargers and he had that big seat. It was hilarious. I think that was him. Could be wrong. Either way, tight end spot is solid for the time being, but probably if we can draft a tight end, a younger tight end with some upside, a higher ceiling that isn't that old, if it presents itself, we'll look at it. Left tackle, we got Costanzo, solid for the time being. Age is a little bit of a concern, 32, but he's still 85 star. Gotta have to ride him to the ground. Pretty much in all these rebuilds right now, until I can use my custom draft classes, we have to ride all of these linemen into the ground because there's just no way to replace them through the draft. Left guard, we have the best. If I'm right, he's definitely top 5 guard in the NFL. I think he's probably top 3. I think the only other guards that even really come close right now is Brandon Brooks on the Eagles and Zach Martin on the Cowboys. And then you got Quentin Nelson right there. Absolute savage. Unreal player. He's going to be a 99 before. He's a franchise. He's here all 5 years. Center, we have Ryan Kelly. Solid. 85, even a better than solid. 85 with a star dev. So you're starting to see why I picked I was maybe not pick the Colts because you guys picked the Colts, but very welcoming to do the Colts rebuild because I don't have to really worry about this offensive line. We had Golinsky solid. I mean, we probably want to get a right guard there. Weakest spot on the line. And then at right tackle, we have Braden Smith, 82. But one thing will be important, though, is we got to pay these linemen. I am not, that's an elf. That is not a human being. That is an elf. I am not going to draft. I'm not going to say I'm not going to draft, but if I only have to draft a left tackle for Costanzo's replacement and a right guard in this rebuild, that's all I'm going to do. So I'm gonna whatever it costs to re-sign Braden Smith, whatever it costs to keep Ryan Kelly on the books, whatever it costs, whatever insane contract it'll probably cost us to keep Quentin Nelson, we're going to do it. So I don't have to deal with replacing these guys in the draft. We have Kamogo Toure at defensive end. He's 75 with a normal dev at 25. Just a solid rotational guy. Definitely could get someone maybe a higher ceiling. Same at right defensive end with Justin Houston. Veteran. No dev trait there. Still 85 for the time being. I'm probably going to let his contract run out. Might as well make him a team cap. This guy's definitely a leader. Bandigoot was kind of a high pick. Was he a third-round pick at a TCU? Second, third-round pick, somewhere in that range. He was a second-round pick in 29. So second-round pick, 70. I mean, again, no dev trait there. It's kind of hurting him a little bit. Dev trait scenarios for me. I don't know if you guys have experienced this in your Madden 21 franchise, but dev traits for me have been few and far between. Definitely the frequency has been down this year versus in Madden 20. So defensive end is definitely a position that we could pay attention to at upgrading. Inside, they traded their first-round pick to get DeForest Buckner from the 49ers. I think it's a pretty good trade. 87 superstar. He's 26. Franchise piece on this defensive line. And of everyone, he's definitely the guy that will most likely be here the full 5 years. Outry's solid, but at this point, I'd probably rather get that contract off the books, have almost $6 million available to spend, and go with a younger option like Tyquan Lewis or Sheldon Day. Linebacking core, we got the maniac Darius Leonard. Probably one of the harshest dev traits given out. He should be superstar. Hopefully, he'll hit that sooner than later, and we can get him up to a superstar dev. Rightfully so. He's a huge fan of the YouTube channel. Absolute beast, man, in the NFL. Looking at his stats. 215 tackles in 2018 as a rookie. 7 sacks, 2 picks. Then he missed some time. I think he only played like 13 games. 171. 5 sacks. 5. I mean, unreal. He's absolutely unreal. Middle linebacker, we got Anthony Walker Jr. Solid. He's solid. He'll get lots of tackles, have a chance to go up a dev. And the right side linebacker, we have Bobby Okereke. Probably one of the better drafts announcements ever. It was Pat McAfee picking him. he's solid as well. So I'm hoping and optimistic that these will be our linebackers for the full 5 years. And with Walker and Okereke sitting on those normal devs, hopefully they get a lot of tackles and go up dev traits sooner than later. In the secondary, we got Kenny Moore, who's a really solid, I'd say borderline underrated slot corner in the NFL. He's 80 star dev at 25, so still a really good ceiling. And pretty much anyone that's like 26 or under, for the most part, I'm going to have them in my vision, in my plans for the full 5 years. Rock Ya-Sin was a second round pick, I believe, at a Temple. Was he a second or third round? I remember the Colts had a bunch of picks. Yeah, he was. He was actually almost a borderline first round pick. But he's 75, has that dev trait going for him. So yeah, hopefully we can develop that. They got Xavier Rhodes, who has fallen off the face of the earth as bad as like any all-pro. Wasn't he an all-pro for the Vikings? He must have been pretty. I know he's a Pro Bowl, but he fell off. Xavier Rhodes, like 3 years ago, was one of the better corners in the NFL, and now he was garbage, hot garbage last year for the Minnesota Vikings. So for that corner 3 spot, I think honestly, it could be Marvell Tell. He could be totally in contention for that if we want to go with the younger guy. Given the fact that he's only 4 points off, and he's 6 years younger than the 2 guys ahead of him in Carey and Rhodes. Free safety with Malik Cooker. Now, I don't know why in the hell it seems like in real life the Colts have no interest of like extending him whatsoever. I think he's really solid at Ohio State, 82 star. He's only 24. I'll tell you right now, in this rebuild, he's going to be in our plans. Even though I do like the pick of Julian Blackmon out of Utah, I thought he's an underrated safety. We can still find a way to utilize him and keep Malik Hooker at the same time. Strong safety, we have Tavon Wilson. Yeah, he's not playing. It's going to be Kerry Wills, the safety out of Michigan State, 74 scheme fit, only a normal depth, but he's only 24. And with that, at the safety spot, hopefully he'll get enough tackles that he'll go up depth trait sooner than later. Special teams, we got Goggles. Was a legend on the channel last year. Oh, man, come on. You got to give this guy a face scan. You got to put glasses in here. Friggin' nerd alert. He's going to be our kicker. Might as well just get rid of this guy right now, Chase McLaughlin. No, thank you. You can't compete with Goggles, all right? He probably just like, yeah, I know. I already had the U-Haul trailer ready. I knew this day was coming. So their special teams is solid. So from top to bottom, obviously the biggest question here with the Colts is what's going to happen in the quarterback spot, what's going to happen with Phillip Rivers. But other than that, man, I have a feeling. I can feel it in my plums that this is going to end our drought of Super Bowl titles and rebuilds. And it's going to take us 4, which is a little bit too long. But we're finally going to win our first Super Bowl in our Madden 21 rebuilds here with the Colts. I'm not going to promise that, but I'm going to try really hard. I wore sunglasses for this. Okay. So coming up from our bye in year 1, garbage. 1 and 5. Hey, at least the Titans, who were probably expected to win the division, are also playing horrific. The bad news is that there's no quarterbacks in the draft. These are awful. These draft classes. There's not one draft. There's one quarterback out of all of them that is draftable. Were these generated draft classes this bad in Madden 20? For our big board, I mean, there's guys for sure. As we've seen, there are always a bunch of corners. We got a mid-first rounder. We got a late first rounder. We got a mid-first rounder. And Conrad here, mid-first rounder. So all these guys would be nice to bring in for that third corner spot. But, for sure. We need D-tackle, someone that we could find that we could pair with DeForest Buckner. Donovan Lowry out of Missouri looks really solid. We got a couple other first-round ones. Late first-rounder in Ball. Early first-rounder in Lewis. He might be the guy so far that, in terms of mid-first rounder, that's probably roughly where we're going to be picking. I think we will win a couple games down the stretch to bump us out of that top 5 pick zone. So it's just, there's no quarterbacks, which is unbelievably frustrating. But I don't know, maybe this is what everyone dealt with last year in Madden 20 with the generated classes. Contracts. What do we got? We got some veterans. First off, I can see T.Y. Hilton. I mean, we got to prioritize here. We got to prioritize. We'll start from the bottom, work our way up. Anthony Walker Jr. would like to keep him, but that is actually not a great contract for someone like him. Zach Pascal, I'd like to keep him. You got that startups? Yeah, sure. Maybe give him a 4-year. We have a lot of salary here with the Colts. So we don't have to be frugal. Hold A to reorder. Love franchise bugs. Just stick it. It's so annoying. Malik Cooker, definitely another guy that we want to prioritize. Give him a 5-year deal. We got Ryan Kelly at center. Again, I just want to try to make sure we keep all of our alignment. So we'll give him a 4-year, keep him to his 31. I think we make the commitment to Jonathan Taylor. Marlon Mack, that's tough to let go. 86, he's 24. But when you have the surplus required, I think we make the commitment with Jonathan Taylor. They clearly drafted Jonathan Taylor knowing that they probably weren't going to re-sign Marlon Mack. So That's that. We got Rivers. He's obviously not playing well, so I don't really want to bring back Phillip Rivers. I'm being completely honest with you. I mean, Ty, yeah, sure. Hold on to the veteran there, but we have, more so at this point, I would gamble that T.Y. Hilton's still going to play really, really well over Paris Campbell developing into T.Y.'s replacement. So I guess we'll go T.Y. If we didn't have the type of available cap resources that we do with the Colts, I'd be a lot more hesitant to giving a 30-year-old a 4-year deal. But at this point in time, might as well just, spend money if we really want to. We don't have to be overly frugal. No one wanted to trade for Jacoby Brissett, which was ridiculous. And out of all the players, the only one I'm really frustrated about is Walker Jr. I thought we could develop him. I'm not paying, what's that cap? $3 million? $3.5 million? I mean, unless it looks like at the end of the year he's going to go up a dev trait based upon his tackle. Like, where's his tackles at? Let me check that real quick. Whole day to reorder for sure. But let me see what these tackles are looking like, as Phillip Rivers has the least amount of passing touchdowns in the NFL. 6 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's an 82. But let's look at the tackles. Anthony Walker. Oh, he's not even there. He's way... Okay, yeah. No chance for re-signing him. Happy with the business we've accomplished here with the Colts. And at the end of year 1... Yeah, we made the playoffs 7-9. We were well off making the playoffs when we talked at the bye week. And then we also lost 4 after that. And then look to close out the year. 5 straight wins. The Colts wanted to win the division no one wanted to the most. That is, I'll take it. We had some hidden dev traits on the offensive side. Jonathan Taylor actually still hasn't unveiled his dev. He's still a couple snaps off there. But Michael Pittman Jr., up to a 78 star dev. So actually, we might as well just bump him ahead of Paris Campbell here for sure in the depth room. And that's great. And obviously, we don't know what Jonathan Taylor is going to be. We made the commitment that we'll go with him over Marlon Mack. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. But I'm feeling confident that with this offensive line, we can gamble with the younger guy. Defensively, no dev traits. I did have a dev trait scenario for Darius Leonard, and we did not hit it, unfortunately. So nothing really to show off there. But hopefully, we see some great numbers at the year-end stats to make us feel good. So Phillip Rivers, at the midway point, we talked to the bye. He was worst in the NFL in passing touchdowns. He ended up finishing, still not good. That's not a great year. 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 15 picks. But it's not, he found a way to make the playoffs. Running the ball, we had 700 yards, 8 touchdowns from Marlon Mack, 5 and 9 for Jonathan Taylor. As you can see, a little bit better from Marlon Mack, all things considered. Receiving, we had 9 and 6 for T.Y. Hilton, 9 and 6 for Michael Pittman, 700 yards for Jack Doyle, 604 for Zach Pascal. He's pretty productive in the backfield for Marlon Mack, too. He was a receiving back, 36 catches, 461 yards, and 5 touchdowns. On the defensive side, Kyrie Willis led the team with a freaky amount of tackles, 136, 10 TFLs, 3 sacks, and interception, 109 tackles for Okereke. I don't know why. I had Darius Leonard as like my money backer. Something must have happened. Some shenanigans must have happened. But he had 8 sacks. He led the team. I like seeing that. But it's just, oh my God, man, why are the sim? We looked at Darius Leonard's stats before we came in, right? 200 tackles, 170 tackles. Why is it once you get into Madden, the stats for every position no longer reflect the player whatsoever? I don't know. Those are issues bigger than my channel can decipher, but we can point it out when it happens. Rock Eason, second-year player at Temple, led the team with 3 interceptions. We had the 19th offense in the NFL. Defensively, probably worse. 23rd, yeah. We're not a great team, but we found a way to get the playoffs. MVP was Aaron Rodgers on the 16-0 Green Bay Packers. Okay. In the AFC, Offensive Player of the Year went to Patrick Mahomes. Defensive Player of the Year went to Miles Jack. With Will, Will's made the short list. Hey, congrats for the nomination. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Justin Herbert. With Jonathan Taylor at 5, Michael Pittman at 7. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Patrick Queen. QB Cam Newton, running back Josh Jacobs, wide receiver was Tyrell Williams for some reason. We didn't have any individual. Oh, come on, where's Goggles at? Goggles didn't even make it. Makes me sad. It makes me sad. But it does make me sad the fact that we have a chance. We have a chance here to go on and win a Super Bowl. And it's an immediate revenge game for Phillip Rivers. 7-9 Colts, 11-5 Chargers. Herbert's their quarterback. It's the man that sent Phillip Rivers packing. Let's see if Rivers and the 7-9 Colts team can get the upset of the playoffs and right the balance in the world. All right, let's get it. I have no idea what to expect. I mean, we know what to expect usually when you see the Chargers in the playoffs, but it's the inverse Chargers. It's when you see the 7-9 Chargers, you get worried. So, I mean, we're not very good, so I'm expecting us to smoke them by like 4 scores. So we're up 7-0, 14-zip in the second half. Chargers able to equalize, get some points on the board before halftime, but Colts have definitely been the better team through the first half. Second half, Chargers get the first score with a field goal, 17-10. We go all the way down the field, convert on the 1-yard line, 24-13. My God, the 7-9 Colts. I mean, we're an 84 overall team. We're not a scrub team by any means. So, it's not a shock if we can find a way to win this game. But, you know, that was still an 11-win Charger team that we just let Phillip Rivers start. I mean, actually, generally speaking, if you're comparing the quarterbacks, you'd probably give the edge to Herbert. Had the better game in pretty much every statistical category outside of actually winning. How did we win this game? Oh, because Herbert had 3 interceptions. I take that back. Who did the job on the defense? Was it Malik Cooker? 2 picks, Kenny Moore. 1 from Rock Eason. Game balls to them as the 7-9 Colts move on to the divisional round. Cam Newton, who's easily the most annoying sim player, probably in Madden 21 so far. Cam Newton and his New England Patriots are next up on the slate. A big AFC rivalry over the last like 20 years. Colts, Patriots, always a good game, except now the faces are way different. With no more Brady, no more Manning, no more Luck. It's it's not even Jacoby Brissett. It's Cam Newton and Phillip Rivers trying to continue the rivalry. And Indy gets a huge touchdown in the first half, cut the lead to 7, get a field goal to start out the second half. But clearly looks like so far in this game, New England just has had that slight edge. Come on. Turn it into a shootout. Get the stop. Just come on, throw a play. Just in case this is Phillip Rivers' last ever snap, because I have no idea if he's going to retire or not. Look, it's daring me to run a slants. It's daring me to do that. Let's see if we can go to Pittman here. Pittman's the guy I have the most. Pittman. There we go. Able to wait, makes it look a little bit better. That's still, I mean, whatever. It's one of those things you hate losing like that, especially when your defense just drops the ball, gives up 38 points. But again, we're a 7-9 team, year 1 of the rebuild. Cam Newton is a sim god for some reason. Like, why? Why? Cam Newton was literally on the door of retirement when he left the Panthers. Why is he a god in Madden 21? And why is I guarantee when we do a Patriot rebuild, Cam Newton gonna suck? That's what I want to know. But either way, hey, great game for Phillip Rivers, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. And you just can't help but look at the fact that we had 17 rushing yards from Jonathan Taylor. Not good enough as the Colts get bounced from the playoffs here in year 1. So it's the end of the free agency period. First thing I will say is I hope to God there's like a tuning update to franchise mode, which fixes some of the draft class issues with positional values and consistently having no linemen. Also, it would be nice if like the free agency pool is a little bit different. I'm tired of seeing it's stacked at running back every year. But however, for our negotiations, I have got identified 2 targets. One, Josh Jones, just depth, because Wills led the team, went up dev trades, only 25. But we do need a new middle linebacker. We did not renew the contract of Anthony Walker Jr. Anzalone is a scheme fit pass coverage. He's only 26. There is a competitive bid in there from the Baltimore Ravens. If I don't get him, I mean, that's a decent chunk of money for a guy that's only in a normal dev that's, getting closer to 30. He's on the wrong side technically of 25. But, if we don't get him, it's not the end of the world. But it would be nice to land a nice little piece for the middle of our defense before the draft. Hey, nice. Getting our number 1 target. Anytime you get your number 1 target, count your blessings in free agency. We have a 5th-year option here for Quentin Nelson. It's easy of a, why do you think no? Give me a yes. As easy. Why? The menus are so friggin' annoying in this game. But yes, we're picking up the 5th-year option on Quentin Nelson. So the draft is here, and I just want to show you, I can't stress enough how bad linemen are. Like, I didn't get some, unless these 4 are all first rounders. Like, look at this. one legit guy. It's a 4th rounder. Left guard, we got the first rounder actually is a first round talent. Mostly garbage. Center, okay. All undraftable. And then at tackle, you got 2 second rounders. Yeah, they technically bust by their first round billing, and then nothing but hot garbage. So, yeah, I think the importance here is that if you are watching these rebuilds, you have yet to get the game, maybe pick a team that has a good O-line that you're not going to have to worry about drafting those guys, because it's just not there at the moment in these draft classes. So for our first pick in the draft at pick 25, it's really down to 2 targets here. Corner, we have Randall McCree out of Cal, 5'9", 180, zone corner, mid-first rounder. 3-cone and 20 look good. I mean, the combine is good. The skills are good, but I think the pick might have to be Gio Lewis out of Ohio State. Early first-round talent. Expected to go in the second. Exceptional athlete. Running a sub-5 at 315 pounds. I think we have a monster. Now, I already know. I'm already almost 1,000% sure it's going to be a normal dev because that's my luck so far at Madden. But base, this guy here is going to be 75 plus. There's no way we're not finding the long-term partner for DeForest Buckner on that D-line here in this rebuild. And he's 78 normal dev. Can't get dev traits to save my life here, Madden 21. But he's number 1 in true value. We got him at pick 25. I'm going to say that, like, there must be, like, 1 superstar for every 3 drafts at this rate. But listen, the Gio Lewis looks like an absolute monster. 95 strength, 85 acceleration, 75 speed, almost 320. Like, that's like Don Tari Poe levels of freakiness. One hell of a pick. Let's go. Pat myself on the back at the end of the first round, getting the number 1 player in the draft. And draft recap time after that big first round selection hitting home on the number 1 true player. The rest of the draft was really good. We got very close in the 7th round of having our first pick below a 60, but yet that streak continues. We had a 68 DN, 67 left tackle, a 70 corner. Real good value there in the 4th round. We got a 73 D tackle in the 3rd round. Kind of going BP at this point, getting Rudy Hawley out of Washington State. We got O'Leary at DN, a 70 overall DN. Almost, almost a guy that could compete maybe as a rookie for a spot. But generally, I mean, anytime you get the number 1 player, I would love to see a dev trait. But dev traits are unfortunately few and far between for me. So we have to be happy with the normal. We have to be happy with the bronze, okay? Got to be like Canada during the Olympics. Be happy with the bronze because, America and Russia and China are smoking you for gold and silver. Gearing up for season 2, something we actually haven't really made that big of a deal of, which is absolutely a big deal. We didn't re-sign Rivers. We didn't draft a quarterback. Our current starter is a 66 overall Jacob Eason. We're throwing him to the Wolves. Let's see what the kid got. If not, hopefully next year's draft class is a little... Let's make him a team captain. This guy's been studying tape. He knows he's taking command of the huddle. We got Jonathan Taylor as a new starting running back. That's going to be something that, in hindsight, at the end of the 5 years, we could see if we made a smart decision going with Jonathan Taylor, or should we have kept Marlon Mack and gone with like a 3-headed monster? Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines for a full 5 years. T.Y. Hilton, we gave him a brand new 4-year deal because we had a lot of salary, but he's already starting to regress down to an 85, but still productive. Pittman up to an 80 overall. We have Pascal 79, Doyle, Jake Butt as our tight ends. Offensive line still one of the best in the AFC, probably one of the best, top 5 in the NFL here in year 2. D-line, Gio Lewis, number 1 player from the draft, will be starting alongside DeForest Buckner. We have Kamoko Toure and Ben Banogu will be our D-end. Secondary, Kenny Moore, Rocky Sin, and Marvell Tell. So, I mean, no superstar lockdown, shutdown type guy, but across the board, solid corner play. The safeties are really good. Malik Cooker, 84. We have Wills with 130 tackles last year. One up dev trait, 80 star. Very optimistic, and I like the ceiling of our safety tandem. Linebacking core, we got Alexander Zalone in free agency. Pairing that with Bobby Okereke, who went up a dev trait. I think he's the only guy. Wills and Okereke are the only 2 players that went up a dev trait last season. And obviously, the maniac Darius Leonard just gets shit done. So... all right, year 2, let's see what Eason can do. Can't do a whole lot worse than Phillip Rivers did last year, where for most of the season, Phillip Rivers was bottom 5 in the league in passing touchdowns. Or can he? Midway point of year 2, and would you think Eason, a 66, would be better than Phillip Rivers? Probably not, right? Oh, we're 5-1. 5-1, everybody. Jags, who who were the second worst team in the league last year, 6-1. So it's just a complete turnaround here for the Colts. We made the playoffs last year, and we're playing way better this 2-2. Let's make it 2 for 2. Get an idea where we are for scouting. I did do, when I went through the quarterbacks, there's one guy who looks definitely legit here, Connor Stern for Oklahoma, 6'5" scramble. That actually guy looks absolutely insane. Might have to pull the trigger. Even if Eason's playing particularly well. We got some nice tight end here as well. Rashawn Griffin, late first rounder, but at least it's a first round. I haven't even bothered with, I'm almost at a point where I don't even want to bother with offensive linemen, to be honest with you. I do think D-end, low-key, like getting a high-ceiling D-end, like someone like Aaron Edwards, who is projected to go late first round, but is early first round talent. That guy would be an absolute stud for us to be able to find. We have another one in Corey Miles. Stuckey's not too bad, but if those are my number 2 targets right there. Edwards and Miles, 1 and 2. If we can get one of those in the draft, I think it would go a long way, because we do need some edge rush help. Right now, everything's in the interior. Banagoo and Toure on the outside. They're solid, but they're nothing really to write home about. What is Eason's stats at right now? What's his stat line? Oh, he's playing like a borderline top 10 quarterback. I like seeing that. Contracts, we have a lot of money, so pretty much can resign whoever we want. First up, Darius Leonard. Absolutely get him locked in. Braden Smith. I'll get you a 5-year deal. Again, do not want to worry about drafting linemen as long as I possibly can. Costanzo, maybe get him on a 2-year. We'll take that. He wants a little bit more money, but hey, tackles like that don't grow on trees. For outside, I think there's a lot of depth that I'm not overly worried about. So we'll make sure we can get a contract extension hammered out with Costanzo. And I think we want to go on a different side here at D-end. And that's that's not too bad for a backup running back for Nyheim Hines. Give something like that, a $2 million cap hit for someone like that. I could totally take that on the books. And at the end of year 2, who would have thought Jacob Eason would lead the Colts to 11-5? Are we getting like a little bit of like a mini Mahomes, where like Mahomes sat and then second year, really his first year, he was elite? I don't know. We got to see the stats, but our GM's very happy that we made the playoffs, even though we did lose the final week of the season against the Cleveland Browns. It's still 11-5. Maybe that lost week 17 cost us a first round bye, which would be a little annoying, but we're happy with it. We are absolutely happy with it. And one thing I did notice, and we need to highlight, is my practice squad, like the computer, signed me 2 dudes on the practice squad with hidden dev traits. And I want to see what those dev traits are. They probably haven't been unlocked yet. But full kudos to the AI. Got Ramon Bradham, hidden dev, and we got Randy Hill, hidden dev. If one of those guys is something better than a superstar, and I can't draft one, I take that as a slap in the face almost. But look at the stats. Eason, what did we do? Wow. 13th in yards, 6th in touchdowns in the NFL, 4,100 passing yards, 36 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. All I can think of is I hope to God there's a jersey swap so I can put him in the thumbnail. My goodness, we have our quarterback here in Indianapolis. Running the ball, Jonathan Taylor, pretty good years. Our first and lead back type guy, because last year we had Marlon Mack and him were kind of mixing it up. Now as our lead back, 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. We got 1,100 yards, 11 tutties for Pascal, 8-7 for Jack Doyle, almost 8-8 for T.Y. Hilton, 7-3 for Michael Pittman, 5 touchdowns for Nyheim Hines. Let's try that. Out of the backfield as a receiving back, 115 tackles, 11 TFLs for our big free agency signing, Alex Anzalone. 107 tackles, Bobby Okereke. 107 for Rock Ya-Sin. We got 11.5 sacks to Forrest Buckner. 11 from Darius Leonard. Okay. He's an edge rusher now. We got 8.5 from the rookie Gio Lewis. 7 from Kamoko Toure. I'm happy with all those numbers. We might have to give Toure a contract extension. He's still waiting to see if he's part of our long-term plans. Interceptions, we're not amazing, but not bad either. We had the 19th offense in the NFL. I thought we'd have better than that. Top 10 quarterback, pretty much. Right? 13th defense. Yearly awards MVP went to Cam Newton. Of course, did. Foles is there. I hate this. AFC offensive player of the year went to Cam Newton. Jacob Eason coming in at number 4. Defensive player of the year went to Miles Jack. Darius Leonard coming in at number 7. Offensive rookie of the year, nothing. Defensive rookie of the year, Gio Lewis, runner-up. Marcus Grant of the Steelers just out beating him for the voting, but hey, it's not bad. Number 2. Quarterback went to Cam. Eason was the second best quarterback in the AFC. I will take that every year. Quentin Nelson was the best lineman. All right, we had a couple award winners. Couple award winners, not too upset about that, but I will be upset if we're one and done. Let's see Eason get his first playoff win under his belt here, and let's really get this rebuild into full gear. So even though last year was a disappointment, Phillip Rivers still got a playoff victory. So that is kind of the bar that has been set here for Eason to at least achieve one playoff victory. And with a defense that apparently is better than our offense. Our defense was almost top 10. I firmly expect our defense to handle Tennessee, shut down Tannehill and Derrick Henry, and win this rivalry matchup. Is this really a rivalry? Do the Colts and Titans really hate each other? Even though they're in the same division, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of vigor between the two fan bases. Either way, very ugly game. Very ugly, but we're getting touchdowns. They're settling for field goals. Hopefully that's the difference maker. And all it took was one. They've done nothing until the fourth quarter where they got, oh, it's over. It's, don't lose your shit, C4. People hate that when you lose your shit in your rebuilds, and you don't want your rebuilds to suck like Madden 20, but this is just awful, man. What? Well, we found our quarterback, Eason. That was a horrible game. Absolute horrible game, and I feel so bad for our defense who just gassed in the second half of the fourth quarter there. They held them to 2 field goals for 3 quarters, and then it's like it doesn't make sense, but it is what it, I mean, I only could, you're seeing it. I can't explain it any more than what the fuck's actually happening. And I'm already getting sick and tired with this game. Already sick and tired with the sim, but focus on the positive, C4. It's year 2. We couldn't find a quarterback in the draft or free agency. And then out of nowhere, Eason plays like a top 10 QB. Let's just have that play keep up for the years 3, 4, and 5, and we'll have plenty of opportunities to win the Super Bowl. So we have actually one of the practice squad players, wide receivers with the dev trait. I can't pay $11 million for a guy I don't know. But Toure with 7 sacks last year. Oh, that's so much money, though. No, we're letting him walk. No, let him walk. For free agency, there comes a point in time where you have to realize I'm 3 rebuilds in and haven't even really been that close to winning a Super Bowl here. So let's spend some money. This is the most salary cap we've had to work with out of all of our rebuild teams so far. And we need help in secondary. We have Kenny Moore, Rocky Sin. That's about it. Guy like Jair Alexander is going to complete that cornerback room. Chenowusu, outside linebacker, edge. He's going to be an edge. He's a speed rusher. We're going to put him at defensive end. He's going to be the guy that takes over Kamoko Toure. So that's a lot of money in contracts, but you want results. This is what you get. This is what it costs, man. You got to lock down big time players and get them in free agency, and I'm confident we'll secure both their services and gear up for a very, very important year 3. And there we go. Very happy with that. Both Jair Alexander, who I'm a big fan of, and Chenowusu are now Colts. So here's a look at our draft board here in the first round at pick 23. A lot of our premier edge rush targets that we kind of wanted have gone off the board. I mean, the signing of Chenowusu in free agency kind of lessens that a little bit, but it's still definitely a position I want to kind of target. Tight end's another one, but I mean, the mid-first round is the value there. We just got Jair Alexander, so it's... we handle business in free agency, so we kind of have to just go with the best player of the two. Tight end would probably make the most sense just because Jack Doyle's getting old. But best player available is John Copper out of Ole Miss. Mid-first rounder. Skills look fairly solid. Combine's acceptable. So this is going to be our pick. He's probably 73, 74, and he is 74. Normal dev, number 19 in true value. Getting that to pick 23. Solid pick here. Good burst off the line of scrimmage. 82 acceleration, 86 strength. Powerful type player. Not bad. And finishing out the draft, it was, again, another solid draft. Nothing to write home about. I cannot get dev traits to save my life. We get a 67 tight end, 67 depth middle linebacker. That's actually, athletically, this guy actually looks really scary. 67 with 88 speed, 91 acceleration, hit power, tackle, pursuit. All very, very good. Obviously, the coverage ability needs work on that, but actually, it's a real juicy looking prospect. We had a 67 guard, 68 corner, 69. I mean, basically, we kind of wanted to see if we can get a tight end here. This guy saw, the main receiving stats look good. 85 acceleration, 82 speed, 80 catch in traffic. You compare that with the guy that we got in the 6th. I mean, hey, 2 nice tight ends. Who knows if one of these guys can emerge as a long-term starter. But I'm happy with the draft. I mean, Copper, he's probably got to be a D tackle in our scheme. Could keep him, might as well just move him to D tackle. Doesn't matter. He wasn't good enough to be a start, I was kind of hoping we get a depth trade. But, of course, can't have nice things. So we got to just slide him into D-tackle. Have 3 really solid D-tackles on rotation. Actually goes up a point there. But, like, where are the good players going? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, is there... Okay, let's just, you know, first, we had a high pick. What's in the second round here? We got a 75 normal, 75 normal, 74 normal, 73 normal. Lots of normals. Third round. A 78 D tackle in the third round. What? Cesar Ramos? Oh, please. If he's something like... how did I miss that? I don't even think I had that guy scouted. I scouted every D... Like, it's only a star, but that's one hell of a player. I would be like... I'd be ecstatic. What a pick for the Lions. The 76 running back went here as well in the third round. Good value coming here, but lots of normal depths. Fourth round, couple 70s. Fifth round, a 75 D tackle. Sick of it. Well, how come every year there's just so many D tackles? There's a hidden dev one going to the Patriots. A 73 D tackle. Like, here's another one. Whew. Well, we weren't finding that kind of value. Year 3, we have 2 straight years of making the playoffs. Let's make it 3 in a row. Surely we can, because this is the highest rated our team's ever been. 85 overall with an 84 offense, 87 defense. Offensive line on point. Even with regression. I'm almost at a point now, it's so hard to draft linemen that like anything like 75 or above is good in Madden 21, it feels like. Our O-line's elite. Quentin Nelson, member of the 99 Club, Pancake City. Kelly's 87, Braden Smith 88, Jack Doyle's not regressing too bad. Eason 72, getting ready for, you know, just repeat. Just be in the ballpark. Like, if he's 24 touchdowns this year, I mean, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad. But I'd like him, Taylor, Pittman, like that new era of Colts young skill position players. I want them to take shape. Pascal's an 83, T.Y. Hilton still solid, but it's definitely regressing down to, you know, typical, like, oh yeah, he's pretty much done. You know, Larry Fitzgerald kind of view like that. Still solid, but, you know, athletically, you're not there anymore. Defensively, that's where we spent in free agency. You got Chenowoshu will be starting at defensive end. Jair Alexander will be our number 1 shutdown, lockdown corner. Pairing that with Kenny Moore, Rocky Eason, Malik Cooker, and Willis. Happy with it. Linebacking core solid. Okereke, superstar dev. Darius Leonard, superstar dev. Almost a 90. I think absolutely this should be double-digit win team and a chance at getting back to the playoffs. And Eason making amends. Not even really him. Jonathan Taylor had 17 yards in that playoff loss. Jonathan Taylor needs a big game, needs a redemption game. Let's get to the playoffs here in year 3. Midway point of year 3, and we're still fairly solid. 7-2, kind of starting to run away here in the AFC South. Scouting has been, you know, mixed bag. Just kind of scouting all over the place here. No, we're at a point right now that, like, you know, always just keep an eye on what quarterbacks are available. We found one here out of Louisville that is an early first rounder, but again, we've been pretty happy with Jacob Eason, all things considered. I guess wide receiver, because T.Y. Hilton is hitting that point. So there are a couple of wide receivers here that definitely intrigue me as far as first rounders. Hopefully, at least one of them will be where we're at. Hold A to reorder. I get it! Fuck! I hate that. Oh. We got a D end. That's still not a scheme fit. That's a 3-4 end. So in terms of edge rush, you know, maybe we just got to keep hoping Chenowoshu does the damn thing. Some corners here. Again, it feels like there's always 4 corners and 4 wide receivers that have 4. Like, that's something I want to start picking up. Obviously, the more rebuilds we get through, the more we'll pick up on trends, because it's still small, relatively small sample size. But I don't know, man. These generated draft, I can't wait for the realistic rebuilds to start. Let's just put it that way. So contracts, we have Quentin Nelson. At that point, pretty much just tell him, hey, here's a blank checkbook. Write a number down and we'll pay it. That's how good you are. So we'll get him locked up. Willis has been very, very good. Let's get him locked up on a 5-year. Okereke taken off with the developed traits. Get him on a 4-year. We got Rocky Eason, who's been solid. He's been solid. He hasn't been amazing, hasn't been elite, but he's been a great corner 3. Jack Doyle actually has been playing fairly well. If we didn't have the salary that we did, I might be a little more reluctant to pay him. He doesn't want that contract, so I'll have to come back. I definitely want Goggles here for the full rebuild. Get him locked up. So yeah, well, you know, maybe not. If Jack Doyle's kind of trying to, you know, bend us over here, maybe we'll wait and see where he's at statistically. But I mean, the last 2 years, he has been really solid. Given his rating, the fact that he's been, you know, 7, 8, 5. I mean, I guess that's the regression there just a little bit so far this year, but I mean, he's on pace to be right about these 2 years. So I think maybe we try to find a way to extend Jack Doyle, and we'll be happy with all of our in-house signings. And at the end of year 3, the glasses come off, baby. The glasses, they might make a return, but right now they're coming off because we got that first round bye. Nice Week 17 victory, 24-21 over a little bit of a rival there in the Jacksonville Jaguars, but 12-4. Who would have thought Jacob Eason would have been a godsend for this Colts team? Fortunately, as always, we have no depth traits to look at because I didn't get any. Eason was, he didn't play as well as he did last year, but 4,100 yards, 29 touchdowns, 9 picks is not bad. We got a good 1-2 punch, I guess. No 1,000 yards for Taylor, but him and Naheem Hines combined, very acceptable committee. Receiving 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns for Pittman. He was in the slot. Jack Doyle, man, I got to give him a new contract, even though he's old. Still, almost 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 8-3 for Pascal, almost 6-2 for Hilton. We have on the defensive side, Bobby Okereke, 116 tackles, 8 TFLs, 2 sacks, 4 picks. Yes, sir. 8.5 sacks, Darius Leonard, 8.5 Forrest Buckner, 8.5 Chenowusu. Given the money we paid Chenowusu to come over from the Chargers, maybe expecting a little bit more production. Double digits would have been happy with, but I mean, we're getting good production from our team. 3 picks, Jair Alexander was 100 tackles. Absolutely. Outside of the fact 55 catches allowed is a lot. Yearly, so we have the number 20 offense in the NFL. Defensively, 3rd. Yes, getting the job done on the defense. MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. Ain't mad at that. AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Patrick Mahomes. Defensive Player of the Year went to Myles Garrett. Okereke coming in at 10. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to, that was the quarterback that we saw out of Oklahoma. Going to be Ben Roethlisberger's successor in Pittsburgh. And that's a rebuild a lot of you guys want to see. If you want to see Pittsburgh as our next rebuild, let me know in the comments. Not a lot of our rookies just, whatever. I didn't see the field a lot. For the individual awards, automatic at this point, making Quentin Nelson Offensive Lineman of the Year. But first round bye, that's all that matters. We get to kick our feet up. We'll take that as a win. We should almost count that as a first playoff win for Eason. Doesn't really count. And we're going to actually officially kick things off at home against Sam Darnold and the 10-6 New York Jets. All right, let's go. This is definitely a winnable matchup. Definitely a winnable matchup. Number 3 defense takes the field. Number 3 defense should be making Sam Darnold see ghosts in every single quarter. Jets start out hot, though. 2 touchdowns. Oof. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Number 3 defense, not coming. Well, I mean, we got a chance. We have a good 4th quarter. Well, it's not what we're looking for. Number 3 defense was not expected to give up 33 points to Sam Darnold. And again, Jonathan Taylor does fuck all. 2 playoff games. He has 36 yards in 2 playoff games. Gonna be a long year. Long Madden year. So putting that frustrating loss behind us, we still want to extend Jack Doyle. I don't care what the base overall is. He's playing very well in our offense. I don't want to let him walk. What was he unhappy with the deal? He didn't like anything outside of the length. Let's give him $3 million, and we'll give that like $195, almost $15 million, and we have secured the services of Jack Doyle for the next 2 years. So is that a free agency period? Our second to last free agency period. I'm not going to go super crazy. We don't have a whole lot of money to make a mess of here, and we don't want to just keep signing things. Like, we've already got Brian Burns in a rebuild and stuff like that. But I am going to look here at the offensive lineman. Left tackle, Anthony Costanzo has retired. So I'm going to look at Jaywan Taylor. He's 25, scheme fit, 79. Hopefully, be a scheme fit. I think he would be, flipping him to left tackle. But that's a great left tackle option. We're not going to be able to draft anyone or develop anyone in that 2-year period that really even would compare to that. So we're coming in with the top bid. Competitive offers there from the Patriots and Cardinals, but I'm fairly confident we'll secure his services. What an asshole. Who else is there? There's a couple other tackles. I think his Jag teammate Cam Robinson. he might not do a lot better than that. Cody Ford wouldn't be bad, but I think we saw Cody Ford in a rebuild, the last one maybe? So let's see. Robinson, there's a 100-point bid there. Pretty much last-ditch effort here for a tackle. You can see it's going to be us and the Steelers. That's a lot of... Oh, yeah. Let's draft one. I'm not paying that much money. Let's draft one. So as we gear up here for our first-round pick at pick 28 in the 2023 draft, I really need to see, like, we're outside of left tackle. What do we really need? Like, we could technically use a young... I mean, Doyle's not getting any younger, I suppose. Game changer at wide receiver, but we just haven't had luck with the dev traits. Am I going to find that in this draft? But so we need a tackle. Then on the defensive side, okay, Okariki's up to an X factor. DeForest Buckner's up to an X factor. We definitely could use edge help. That's a big one. I'd say it's edge and tackle would be our first two needs, our first two top priorities. Then we can maybe look at tight end. So what do we have for edge and tackles in this draft? Looking at our draft board here, we got a couple legit looking players. We got a first, I mean, we don't really need that. Edge, there we go. Our first one, again, it's a guy that's not a scheme fit. 6'4", 306, that's a 3-4 end. This guy actually looks absolutely insane, but he's clearly not an edge rusher. I might just have to draft him, and then maybe we move Darius Leonard's been getting almost 10 sacks a year. Maybe we just straight up make him like an edge hybrid. I mean, this linebacker looks really good too. Didn't even attend the combine, mid-first rounder. Those skills look very good. We have a couple fourth-round wide receivers that could amount to something. I like the look of that guy. Tight end here looks, what's he, early first rounder? Late for, all right. And there's no tackles. This guy here's the best lineman. Clearly, you know, it's 6'3", unless you're like Isaiah Wynn of the Patriots. No tackles built like that. Bentley doesn't look too bad. We'd love to actually get him in the second round. So, I mean, just giving us options with Darius Leonard. I'm going to take Nolan Marshall. Looks like the best player on our board. Please, for the love of God, give me a dev trait. Yeah. 76 normal. He's number 6 in true value. We got him at pick 28. Stats look pretty good. Pursuit, tackle, good. Speed is off the charts. 87 speed, 91 acceleration. Block shed's not bad. I mean, even those moves aren't brutal for a guy that's not even 230 pounds. Very small player. More like a safety. I think you could get 81. This guy is very weird. He does not fit that body type. That's one of the best all-around linebackers I might have drafted ever. Nolan Marshall out of Notre Dame. Wow. Do we make Darius Leonard the maniac and edge rusher? Oh my God, it happened. Greg Roseman didn't attend the combine middle. I just like went BPA. Didn't attend the combine. Got our first legit hidden dev player. I mean, we had one, I think, in the Bengals rebuild. It was a corner. That was actually superstar dev. But it's been a dry spell since then. Roseman, 74 hidden dev, 14 in true talent. Getting that at 60, unreal. Don't really need him per se. I mean, maybe Anzalone would regress. Then this guy could be our starter next year. But great pick, man. Great pick. And for our final pick, our streak of no one below a 60 overall. It's going to fall down on one man and one man only. Where is he? I got this guy. No scouting left. Huffman, highest bench. Don't fail me now. 37. There we go. 64 overall. 212. I'll take that. Now, it's not as overpowered as it was a year ago, but you can rely on 35-plus reps on the bench press, getting you a solid-looking lineman. So generally, at face value, an outstanding draft for the Colts. Get two freaky-looking linebackers finally hitting on a dev trait. We got a 71 wide out here, Thomas. 68 DN, 70 wide receiver, 67 tackle, who actually might have to be our starter. I don't know yet. 61 guard, very low. That might be actually the lowest rated guy we've drafted. And I may or may not have just tried to use the high bench press tell on a non-scouted player. Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever. We finished in the green, baby. That's a really, really strong draft. Now let's get freaky and make Darius Leonard a defensive end. Because he's been playing like one. Might as well just confirm that transformation. He's taken his game to another level in the back end of his career. So looking at our roster, we got to make some changes here. I mean, I'm still happy with Eason as our starter. Wide receivers, again, we don't have that elite playmaker. It's what happens, like I said, when you're not drafting guys and having that turnover of getting great dev traits, but it's still a solid skill position room. But what we are going to do here, I can't be going with that 67 left tackle, the rookie. So I'm going to flip Tyson, who originally was drafted as a tackle. We'll make him out from guard. We'll put probably Danny Pinter in there at right guard and move Dante Tyson back to left tackle. Where is, he was drafted out of Houston to come in and be that left tackle. Looks a lot better there. Defensively, this is where we got to make some moves. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take Darius Leonard. We're going to have a 225-pound edge rusher because that's what we're going to do. Trust me, it's just because that's what we're going to... I mean, you look at the stats. That's all he's been doing. He's not getting interceptions. He's not getting fumbled. He's not getting crazy amount of tackles. But what he is doing is averaging about 9 sacks a year. So let's just make the conversion. He's probably the smallest D end in the history of the NFL, but we're gonna make it work. Because that D line is filthy. That gives room for Marshall to start at left outside linebacker, Anzalone and Okereke there. I mean, I'm very, very happy with my defense. I'm gonna be very upset if my defense yet again is top 5 and we give up 30-some points in the first game of the sim. That would be very, very frustrating. But we're at 87. Like, we have rebuilt the shit out of the Colts here in year 4. Let's make it 4 straight playoff appearances. Come on, it's only a matter of time until we eventually fall ass backwards into a Super Bowl. Bye week is here in year 4, and we're 2-3 below 500. I mean, in a way, I totally get it. If I was someone that was into watching rebuilds, I want to see Super Bowls after Super Bowls. But I'm almost, it's going to be a meme. I would be welcoming in a way if we go like 12 rebuilds without winning a Super Bowl. It's going to be like, it's only a matter of time until you can, and then it just highlights all the frustrations with franchise mode here in Madden 21. But it's not, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. In a way, I'm so doom and gloom because our postseason performances have been fucking horrific. But we've made the playoffs 3 straight years. So I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too overcritical about this 2-3 mark. Anyways, yeah, contracts. Well, we got Michael Pittman. I like him, man. He's always diddling around 1,000 yards, so we'll get him a contract. Jonathan Taylor, he's our running back. Might as well get him locked up, 4-year deal. Kenny Moore's been really solid in corner. He's getting like 2-3 picks a year. So let's get him locked up on a 2-year deal, but have him here for the final year of this rebuild. We'll come back. Kind of have surplus requirement in Anzalone. He's solid, but that young linebacker that we drafted, I kind of want to give him a go. And I'll save a little bit more money that maybe we could splurge on like an edge rush or something that we really need. Eason, I think he'll be our starter. Very surprising, a welcome surprise to see him be the rightful successor to Phillip Rivers here. But he's done a really, really good job, especially given that rating. What are the odds we can't find a wide receiver better than that? That's not a brutal contract, if we'll take that. Just to have the dev, yeah, I don't know. No, we're going to be messing around with that. So yeah, we'll give Kenny Moore a contract. Other than that, happy that everyone's still invested and wants to be a part of this Colts rebuild. We were 8-4. We turned it around, and then we didn't turn it around. We finished 8-8. We lost so many of our final games. How many we like? It literally was like so unpredictable. Like, look, like win, loss, win, loss, win. And I was like, all right, bye week wasn't so great. Then we won 5 in a row, and then we lost 4 of our last 5. Yeah. I mean, we still got one more year. No doom and gloom. First year we didn't make the playoffs in this entire rebuild. Got to be proud of what we built. Got to be willing to gamble and bet on them that they will get back to the playoffs last year and give us a chance. I will tell you right now. I will promise you right now. I'm going to play way more gameplay in this rebuild year 5 if we make the playoffs than ever, because I'm winning the Super Bowl, man. The meme ends here, okay? Look at our stats. As we finish 8-8, solid year for Eason, 33 touchdowns. I'll take that, 9 picks. I mean, he's done a very, very good job since he's become our starting quarterback. 37, like, I don't know, quick math, he's averaging what? 31, 32 touchdowns every year. I'll take that. I will absolutely take that. Running attack, not so much. We'd love to see Jonathan Taylor play better. Again, always comes back to like, what are we, what has, I mean, it's tough to compare running backs, but did we make the right call not getting and keeping and developing Marlon Mack? I mean, Marlon Mack has gone off since we decided to just commit to, okay, maybe actually hasn't been that was the only year going over 1,000 yards. So maybe we're not no further ahead or behind with that decision to go with Jonathan Taylor as our lead running back. It's not like Marlon Mack went out and became like the best running back in the league. Receiving numbers. So here we go. Classic slot wide receiver is leading our team. We have 800 yards, 5 touchdowns for Pascal. Solid year for TY. That might actually, is that his best year of the rebuild? It almost is. All right. 10 touchdowns, Doyle, ageless one. That guy's phenomenal. Jack Doyle has honestly been our most consistent offensive player, not named Jacob Eason. Defensively, 103 tackles for Okereke. We got 12 sacks to Forrest Buckner, 6.5 Lewis, 6 for Darius Leonard, only 5 for Chenowusu. Picks are there. It's a little bit lower than what we want. The number 17 offense in the NFL. Defensively, we were 19th. So yeah, just an average team, man. MVP went to Deshaun Watson. There's something I have to give a round of applause to Madden and the franchise team. At least they've generally got MVP right this year. We're talking about immersion killers. Seeing Mariota and Trubisky win MVP was, it's a little bit of a stretch. But for our team, Eason, number 6 in the Offensive Player of the Year discussion. Defensive Player of the Year went to Jayon Brown. Offensive Rookie of the Year. We didn't have anything. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nolan Marshall, the linebacker, coming in at number 3. I like seeing that. Roseman at 5 at middle linebacker. 2 really good young linebackers here on the Colts for year 5. Eason, number 6 for quarterback. Speaking of, there you go. Running back Josh Jacobs for individual. Ooh, we didn't win. Finally losing out. Another 99. Left tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. Ronnie Stanley wins Best Lineman of the Year. All right. Year 5. Let's do it. All or nothing. And at the risk of being anticlimactic, for our final free agent period, there's literally nothing. I got $10 million. I was looking at my own roster. Like T.Y. Hilton, I could get rid of him. That'd free up 5, 6, 7 mil. But there's the only upgrade would be moving Darius Leonard back to linebacker and then signing Cam Jordan. And even then, I don't even think, even with cutting T.Y. Hilton, I'm going to have a competitive enough offer to get him. So it's just not our team. I guess that's credit to our team. Our team, there's no upgrades really to be had here in free agency. So let's just go at it again next year. Same squads, more chemistry, hungrier than ever. Class is coming off for this draft. Final draft, this is my board. We should be able to get at least 3 of them for the most part. Who to go with our first pick, though? Just because I have early first round grade here on Saxton, the free safety, but we actually don't. Malik Cooker's there doing his thing. Get a mid-round grade on another. Our safeties, that's just more so BPA. In terms of what we actually need, I guess we could bring competition in for T.Y. Hilton at wide receiver, depending if Patrick Woods is really good. It looks good. The 3 drills that you want in a wide receiver, the 40, the 3-cone, the 20-yard he has. Mid-round talent would be great if that was early, but the catch, all that stuff looks good. This is going to be our pick. And he is 73, but we got number 13 in true value, getting at 60. Technically, it's still a good pick. The stats look good. 94 speed, 93 acceleration, 83 catching, 81 catch in traffic, 93 agility, 92 change of direction. This guy here, Jesus, he'd juke you out in a friggin' phone booth. He looks good. Probably not going to play anything, but solid. I was an absolute coward to end the draft. Round 6 and 7, I know scouting, and I want to keep, at least if I'm not winning Super Bowls, I'm drafting very, very well in our rebuilds. I don't want to ruin that no one below, no turds. My kid calls them turdlets. No turdlets in my draft just yet. We got a 66 linebacker, 67 guard, 70 middle linebacker, Cam Stuckey out of Tennessee. Looks solid. I'm drafting linebackers that are, this is good for my Detroit Lions franchise. Even though in the Lions franchise, we're actually not bad at linebacker. I've been drafting freaky linebackers consistently in these rebuilds. Hopefully that'll translate well to there. I just picked a quarterback who's best on the board, Dalton Hillhouse out of Wisconsin, 73. You got earrings. I didn't know there was earrings in this game, but that's cool. But he looks like one hell of a player. 91 throw power, accuracy looks solid, 85 break sack, good speed, good athlete. He's a good backup. Life after this rebuild, in the imaginary continuation of this Colts, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. But we need to go all in here, year 5, and finally win a Super Bowl. Year 5, do or die time for the Colts. Just get in the playoffs. I almost say right now, I'm not at that breaking point yet, but I'm very close to just saying I'm gonna straight up play the entire playoff run and try to win something for them. Even if I have to knock it down to all rookie difficulty, a brand new difficulty that only EA game changers get, okay? But here's our team. Year 5, we're an 88 overall. I would say the best defense on paper in the NFL. But you look at there, we got Eason up to a 79. It's been a long journey, but again, he's been averaging, 31 touchdowns since he's become a starter. Hey, we got something here. I guess, especially if you're out there and you're thinking about doing like a Colts as your main franchise that's going to be longer than 5 years. Eason, he's good. John Taylor up to an 86. Pretty much at that point. Like we said, is he going to be at 25, 26, the same rating as Marlon Mack was. And here you go. Marlon Mack was 25 when he left, and he was an 87. Jonathan Taylor would probably be 88, hopefully, at the end of this year. So long-term, we made the better decision at the starting running back. Michael Pittman's up to a 90 overall. I mean, that 2020 draft class has paid immediate dividends and long-term dividends for the Colts. All three of these guys have been performing at a high level. Pascal's been solid. We got T.Y. Hilton still on the roster. Doyle's now, I'm making him a start. I don't care about the overall. I mean, it always feel like in rating overall, how's it impact the sim, right? I don't think it does. So I'm gonna keep Doyle there. He hasn't done enough to lose his job, and you can't get into just focusing on the ratings. That's reward players that have been playing well. Offensive line, yeah, left tackle and right guard's not great, but generally still an exceptional offensive line led by Big Q, Mr. Pancake himself. Defensively, this is one of the premier defense in the game. Front seven, we got Maniac at DN. Lewis, the #1 overall player from our first draft, 87. My God, I hate the fact that I can't get depth traits. If he had even a star, he'd be like a 92, 93 right now. Buckner has been amazing, going up to an X factor with the momentum shift ability. Chenowusu, maybe a little bit underwhelming since signing him in, but he's been consistent. We got Okereke as an X factor. Roseman, who had a hidden dev last year, came out star. Marshall, who was a normal dev, got a star dev. So really, really happy with that linebacking core. In the secondary, Malik Cooker's an 88. Willis is an 85. Kenny Moore's an 83. Eason, 81. And then the face, we bought him. We know we straight up did not draft him, did not develop him. We just took all the hard work Green Bay did and said, yeah, this is ours now. We're going to put our name on it and submit it. Like cheating in high school. Jair Alexander, 97, superstar X Factor with that shutdown ability. I want 5 picks from him this year. 5 picks. I want to be the #1 seed. I want that first round bye, and we're going to go in the Super Bowl and win it. And we finished with 4 playoff appearances in 5 years. We got that first round bye, 13-3. Thank God, because that was a really, really competitive AFC South. The worst team was 9-7, which, if you remember, the first year of the playoffs, we made it as a 7-9 team. So let's upgrade some of our players here. And this is it, man. Let's reap our reward for doing one hell of a rebuild. Can we finally win a Super Bowl? Can we finally win a playoff game? More than one. We have 1 playoff win in 4 appearances now. That's 13-3. What happened? Eason, first in yards, third in touchdowns. MVP candidate. Legit MVP candidate. 4,700 yards, 38 touchdowns. Single-digit picks. Eason is a beast. Our first stud that we have had. I was talking about him all pre-Madden 21. I was like, what is the best young quarterback? And it was 2 guys. Jacob Eason and Cole McDonald. And Eason has been amazing. He's been lights out. Running the ball, we got 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 550 and 7 for Naheem Hines. Happy with that. 3 rushing touchdown trees, though. He's over 40. We might have an MVP on our hands. 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns for Zach Pascal. 1,007 for Pittman. 1,010 for Jack Doyle. Where was this? Huh? Straighten these out a little bit. Where was these numbers for every other year? Defensively, 131 tackles, 4 sacks. Okereke, we got 13 sacks for the Maniac. There we go. I always knew it was a D-end at heart. 11 sacks, Buckner. B, 6 from Chenowusu, acceptable. 6 picks, Kenny. I said I wanted 6 from Jair. We got it. What did I say, 5 or 6? Anyways, thank you, Kenny Moore. I appreciate you. 4 picks, Eason, 3 from Rose. Happy with those interception numbers. We had the #1 offense in the NFL. Defensively, we were the 7. If we're one and done, I just might delete my YouTube channel because there's no point rebuilding this year. Yearly awards MVP went to Aaron Rodgers. Rudder up. He's so close. So close. Oh, Jeebus wins. Offensive player of the year went to Jacob Eason. Very nice. Defensive player of the year, Matt Milano. Offensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year. Nothing. Best QB, Jacob Eason. Best running back went to Josh Jacobs. Zach Pascal is your best wide receiver, your best lineman. Back where he belongs, Quentin Nelson. Braden Smith coming in at #2. Ryan Kelly at 5. D-line went to Josh Allen. Linebacker, Matt Milano. DB, Kenny Moore with the 6 picks. Appreciate it. Appreciate ya. Why did it... whatever. I'm not even going to complain. Don't focus on the positive, C4. We're peaking right now. This is our time. We have a veteran player, Jack Doyle. Might be the end. I mean, he has been just ridiculous. Throw out overall, base overall at the window. Talk about Jack Doyle. That guy's been the best tight end we've had in any rebuild so far. And Quentin Nelson wants to win one for Jack. So our morale is at an all-time high. Number 1 offense, number 7 defense, playing a 9-win Titans team. How could this go wrong? Come on. Don't do this for me. It's my birthday tomorrow. Let me have this. Number 1 offense, number 7 defense. Let me have this. Please. Let me get to the championship game. We had the bye, right? We only need 1 win. Defense is playing good. Number 1 offense, 3 points. No touchdowns. No touchdowns. Number 1 offense. Hey! Yes! Yes! All the turnovers. How are we not getting any points? I hate this game. We won. We won. Okay. Hate this game, but we won. No touchdowns for Eason. Number 1 offense. But we won. Let's not analyze the fact that my quarterback was terrible. Let's not analyze the fact that my running back had less than 50 yards. Let's not dwell on the fact that that was a horrific performance from the number 1 offense in the NFL. We won. And we're going to the AFC Championship game. That's all that matters. Conference Championship, 9-6-1 Houston Texans. They're not a bad team. They're definitely not a bad team. Deshaun Watson's now an X factor. Well, I mean, look what we got. Jair, Buckner, Okereke, Big Q. What are they working with? They got Fletcher Cox, so they signed the number 1 free agent. Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, Justin Reed. They have a random guy here, Jamie Gold. Brendan Scott, I mean, hey. Number 1 offense, top 10 defense. Let's go to work. For that Lucas Oil. Frank Reich. I love Frank Reich. Love him. One of my favorite coaches in the NFL. Get your team to the Super Bowl, and I'll Nick Foles it for you, all right? So we open up with a field goal in the first quarter. Not a lot of touchdowns. Not a lot of touchdowns for the number 1 offense here in the playoffs. The fact that we've gone a lot of playing time, no touchdowns, is upsetting to me. Coming in. I'm coming in. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit, man. This is so bad. All right, 3rd and 4. Let's show them how it's done. It's not that hard. Okay, actually, I don't have a whole lot of speed here. T.Y. Hilton, do we dare go T.Y.? Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. They didn't pick it off. Thank God they didn't pick it off because I didn't like that one bit. Oh, yeah, another one. Let me come in. 3rd down. I'll get this one. I'll get this one. I got it. We got big body guys. Hines is actually probably the fastest player we have. Oh, the line. Oh, Doyle. Oh, Doyle rules! Doyle rules! Let's go. It's so hard to see with these glasses on. I'm going to try to make it a thing. He'll be the guy with the glass. Actually, I don't really want to make that a thing because people that have things are just because they're not interesting and they need to have things. We got a touchdown. Defense get the stop. Number 7 defense get a stop. All right, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. I'll come in. So Texas double post, I guess. Getting a yeah, that's target Nyheim Hines. Again, that's the speed that we want. The guy that can actually get some, cover some ground and maximize the ridiculous arm strength of our quarterback. Yes, he's right there. We didn't overthrow it. I thought we were. Perfect. That's, again, this is what we want. Nyheim Hines is our weapon. 93 speed, I think. Tie this one up. Come on. Dare I run it with Jonathan Taylor? Let's see. What do we got for timeouts? I don't want to put this ball in the air, even though we didn't. We almost had a pick. Come on. Come on. Ah, we got tackled. 10 seconds. Good. That was a good first run. I feel like if we could hit another juke, we would have been fine there. 8-7. Something like this. See if we can break off 20 yards, get a long field goal attempt. Get the block cue. Oh! Where's the defense? Oh, rookie! Thank you, Lord, baby Jesus. Nyheim Hines, 2 touchdowns, back-to-back, 56-yard walk-off. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Let's go. 4 touchdowns, Eason. I got 2 of those. Don't matter. We're going to the Super Bowl. That's all that matters. And the Super Bowl has been set. Atlanta sets the stage. 13-3 Colts. 9-7 Seahawks. They still got Russ. Also, they got Jamal. Oh, no. I do not want to play. At least Bobby Wagner's not there anymore. Jamal Adams with Avalanche. Russ. We got this guy, Archer. Reinforcement. Chris Carson, Jordan Brooks. Hey, shout out to Jordan Brooks and Quincy Williams, both developing. What are the odds? Who's taking the bets that if I hop in and play, this Super Bowl is going to be decided by Jamal Adams just destroying like Jack Doyle for a fumble? Come on, man. Get me a Super Bowl. 4th rebuild. Give me. I'm due. I'm absolutely due, and I deserve this. Come on, Frank. You've been here and done that before, all right? You've been here and you've done it before with a worse team in Philly. This Philly team, that Eagles team that won the Super Bowl, will get smoked by this Colts team in real life, all right? So Frank Reich knows what it takes to win a Super Bowl. Let's start with a 7-0 deficit, all right? But we get a touchdown. We equalize. This is going to be a high-scored Super Bowl, looks like. We got a safety. We pile that into another touchdown, a 2-point lead, 2-minute drill. Oh! We're playing very well. They're not going away, though. They're absolutely not going away. Come in. Let's help them get this 3rd down. 3rd and 5. What do we got? What do you want to call Frank? Pretty much call it goes. Can we go back to Jack Doyle? Let's have Pascal do a little slant because he's a slot guy. Hines out the backfield. Why am I wearing this? It's so hard to see. So hard to see. Well, we'll go to Nyheim Hines for the 1st down. Keep the drive alive. And that's Shaquille Griffin. Didn't have a chance. Red zone. Oh, they finish it off. Ooh. Let's go on 3rd down. Let's get another 3rd down for him. John Taylor, JT, need 1 yard. Let's run right behind 56. It's audible it. If 56 ain't road great in the way. There we go. Move the chains. Keep burning that clock. 3 touchdowns for Jonathan Taylor. Looking like a Super Bowl MVP performance out of him. Another 3rd down. What is it? 3rd and 7. Ew. I'll throw a play because everyone knows there's a better chance that if I just sim it, it's going to be a better result because I'm most likely going to throw a pick here. But I mean, it's all pro. All pro is sometimes forgiving. Oh, no! Oh, my God. That was stupid. Because you kicked the field. Okay. That was so stupid. Why would I do that? Going for it. There we go. Final play. Let's win our Super Bowl. Our first Super Bowl. 4th and 26. Where's Freddie Mitchell when you need it? Let's bring the blitz. And who better, I think, to get the maniac back there? Darius Leonard. Oh, he beat it. Oh. I was getting ready to, like, shit a brick. I was getting ready to shit a brick, but there we go. First time in Madden 21 we've won the Super Bowl. Couldn't do it with the Bengals. Went to the Super Bowl with the Bengals. Couldn't win it. Redskins. I don't even think we ever went on a deep playoff run. That was a whole... Dwayne Haskins screwed that whole rebuild up. Cardinals rebuild. Made the Super Bowl. Fumbled it with Kyler Murray. Still upset about that. But here at the Colts, the team you guys requested, took us a full 5 years. Took us committing and developing Jacob Eason. 4th round, 5th round pick out of Washington. But here we are. That's all that matters. Beating Mike Zimmer and his Seattle Seahawks team. Got that Mike Zimmer defense, and they could not stop Jonathan Taylor. He got to be the MVP. Almost threw a pick at the end there. Did. Will Dissly almost ruined my life. I would have broke these $100 sunglasses. But there you go. MVP Jonathan Taylor, 60 yards, 3 touchdowns. Congrats. Yeah, finally. And we got the monkey off our back. Every other rebuild now will be a little bit more consistent. The blue and white confetti. Eat your heart out, Peyton Manning. Jacob Eason's the greatest quarterback in franchise. Honestly, though, not Peyton, but Eason probably surpassed Andrew Luck if he was able to do something like that. By all means, he's the quarterback Andrew Luck should have been, but it's Eason. And it didn't cost you tanking and getting the first overall pick either. There we go, everybody. Finally won a Super Bowl. Took us 4 freaking rebuilds, but we're here now, and it's a new beginning. We're only going to win more and more. So, let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see rebuild next. Whatever team has the most likes in the comments, I will rebuild. I have a feeling it's Pittsburgh, because I always see Steeler requests, but honestly, I'll go with whatever you guys want to see. Let me know in the comment section below. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're on our way. We're almost getting like 1,000 subs a day. Ridiculous. So let's keep on keeping on, get to that first goal of 150. Hopefully we can close out 200,000 before the Madden 21 season is done, and more rebuilds like this will be on the way. Hopefully more successful rebuilds. But thanks for watching, and until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.